All right, so now we're going to use the limit definition of a derivative to find actual derivatives, find slopes of tangent lines, okay? So let's take a look at a function. The function, we're going to use f of x equals x cubed plus 5. And what we want to do is we want to try to find the derivative, which is the slope of the tangent line at any point on this graph. Okay, so we're looking for the slope of the tangent line at any point on this graph. How fast is this graph changing at any given point? Now there's another video that I talk about the missing speedometer, so you can look at that one to figure out where the limit definition of derivatives comes from and how we actually think about this logically. But remember, to find the derivative of any function, we can say the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x over h. Because remember, we take our first value, and our second value, right? This is our first point, this is our second point. We're trying to figure out what's the distance between those two, what's our change in y over our change in x. Okay, that's basically where this comes from. So let's apply that to this one right here. Let's figure out what is the derivative of this function. So the derivative of this f of x equals the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h. So anywhere I have an x, I put x plus h in there. So I have x plus h cubed plus 5 minus x cubed plus 5 all over h. So now I just start doing some algebra, because here's the deal. If I put h in here right now, I get a 0 on bottom, or if I put 0 in for h, I get a 0 on bottom and a 0 on top. Okay, that doesn't work, because then I have the indeterminate form, and so we need to do some algebra. This is something we've been doing. We've been finding limits and using algebra to find a limit. Okay, it just looks a little hairier. All right, so let's expand this out. So we have x cubed plus 3hx cubed plus 3h cubed x plus h cubed minus, plus 5 minus x cubed minus 5, because I distribute the negative sign. And then I put it all over h. Whew, that's intense, right? But watch this. X cubes cancel each other out. 5's cancel each other out. And the h's, this has an h here. That h becomes h squared. And this becomes h squared. So now I have, I'm sorry, this should be x squared. And this should be h squared. I knew I was like, okay. So this becomes h. Okay, so now I have the limit as h approaches 0 of 3x squared plus 3hx plus h squared, right? Because everything else canceled out. So can I find this? Can I just plug 0 in for h now? Yeah, I can. This becomes 0. This becomes 0. So this entire term becomes 0. This entire term becomes 0. So I find that f prime of x equals 3x squared. And soon, when you learn your power rules for derivatives, you will know that all of this algebra led us to the exact right answer. So I hope that helped you learn a little bit more about the limit definition of derivatives.